Chocolate helps a sore throat, right? Hello again, welcome back to the Sunday Update. I'm Lucas, as ever, and in case you can't tell from my voice, it's incredibly sore. I've got a really bad throat right now, so I'm sorry if my talking isn't quite as eloquent as normal, but hopefully it'll still be an enjoyable episode for you anyway. Now, I need to clear something up straight away. The second video of this series has been taken off YouTube. By myself. I've taken it off myself. I got a request to take it off, and I did so. It's not my place to talk about people or why they did it, but it's made me think. And until this happened, I wouldn't have really called myself a YouTuber, but I suppose I am now. I suppose I do have a responsibility to watch what I upload to make sure I'm not invading people's privacy or revealing information that they didn't want revealed or anything like that, really. And I should know better, because I know how bad it is to have information revealed about yourself when you don't want it to be revealed. So I know I should be more sensitive to that issue. So my apologies, first and foremost. But yes, that episode will not be on YouTube, I'm afraid, because I'll be honest, it doesn't really make any sense for me to re-upload it without the relevant bits, and for those of you who've watched it anyway, you might be able to figure out what the relevant bits are, and I think that would just cause more pain for them, more work for me, and it's not really worth it for you guys either, which is a shame because it was my most viewed vlog, but such is, I suppose. But my lack of social duty, if you will, added on top of sort of social exhaustion. I know it's been a quiet week for me, but I'm sorry, my throat's dreadful. Oh my word. Never record with a sore throat. It's been a quiet week, but I've been keeping myself busy with plenty of things, committee-wise, degree-wise to an extent, rehearsals, practice, and lots of actually meeting up with people as well, which has been nice. But that has led to a degree of something I've talked about before on these vlogs, social exhaustion. And that, bundled with everything that had happened that led to me taking down the old vlog, did lead me to a bit of a low point on Thursday night, and I haven't been in one for a while, which is good, I suppose. They're never particularly fun, as you might guess. Or sometimes it just happens, and there's not really much you can do about it, I don't think. If you try and fight it, you'll either fight it and end up in a worse position than you were before, and with less inclination to try and get yourself out again at any point because you've already tried to fight it once. Or the way I deal with it is I just indulge myself ridiculously. So I indulge myself on some new shoes, and I indulge myself on some takeaways because, well, cooking. And I really do think it works, personally. Each to their own, of course, but I've found a solution that works for me, and I'm going to carry on going with it. I mean, I'm not going to indulge myself too much more anymore because I feel like I've got myself out of that rut already, which is good, I really appreciate that. But there's only so far you can indulge yourself outside of the ruts without thinking that you're just being a little bit gluttonous, I feel. That was going to be such an eloquent point until I mucked up the ending. Jumping back a little bit in time this week, I've been catching up with a friend of mine over the last few days, and I caught up with him on Monday, just after I'd released the vlog actually. Apologies for it coming out so late last week. I was treated to essentially sort of a family history, and I love those, I think they're really interesting. But on this particular occasion, it wasn't a good one. It was really, really grim. It's tough for me to hear. I like to try and be a positive person where I can. I'll always look for a positive in a situation because I don't feel like it's worth dwelling on the negatives. But I don't feel like there was much of a positive in this situation. And firstly, that's heartbreaking. To know that someone you care about has been through such an awful time, that's dreadful, really. That is. But what it has made me do is realise the incredible fortune I had growing up well. Because now I've heard a lot of stories of people who either had minor issues, like sibling disputes, for example. That's one I hear quite often. And I've heard that all the way up to completely ruptured families with divorces and people never speaking to each other. And I'm so lucky that I've never had to deal with that. And I've taken it for granted so often because I've always assumed that that's what a family should be like. But now I realise that it's not always how it is. I still think it's how it should be. I still think that a family should be happy together, but the sad truth is, a lot of the time, it isn't, I suppose. And that really sucks, you know? That really does suck. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to a point where I can help that at some point in the future. This may seem like a little bit of a tangent, but everyone wants to be famous for their own reasons. But one of the reasons I'd love to do it, aside from the fact that it would support my vanity to no end, is that it gives you an opportunity to help people. Once you're famous, once your name is in the spotlight, everything you do is scrutinised more, for sure. And I'm sure I couldn't get away with a lot of things that I do right now if I was famous. But I'd also have the opportunity, I don't know, do charity work and stuff, and actually make a noticeable difference. I try and do my best now, but I always feel like my efforts are just swamped by the enormity of the issue. With a little bit of recognition in my name, who knows, maybe I could make a difference, a discernible one. That became very self-centered very quickly. Yeah, that's another issue of mine. I think I'm going to have to work on that one. But I bring it up because I've seen families be so unhappy now, and I don't think that anyone should have to go through it. And, you know, I do my best as I can. I effectively run my own one-man counselling service. I just want to make as much of a difference as possible, because I've been so incredibly lucky with how supportive my parents have been, how loving my whole family has been, even the extended family. I just want more people to see that, I guess. Now, I suppose it's time to lighten the mood a little bit. And you may be wondering throughout this vlog, why has Lucas got a sore throat? Well, so as some of you know, I'm not a drinker. Up until I was 18, I was completely teetotal. And after that, I drank maybe twice a year, at no particular time. Oh, the sun's come out. And the most I'd ever have really was half a cocktail, or not even a tenth of a glass of wine. And then Thursday night happened. This all started when a friend of mine was going up to get drinks, and I said, "Oh, get me a mojito." Please. I said please, obviously. And I pointed to, if you imagine this is the menu, on the back there's a little non-alcoholic section, which is the one I wanted. And there's a mojito on there. And unfortunately, also in the alcoholic section inside, there's also a mojito. And that's the one I ended up getting, because I was careless enough not to specify. And I had it, and I just kind of went sod it. Probably wasn't the best attitude I could have had, but it happened, and I can't really say fairer than that. So my evening then consisted of 4 cocktails, 8 shots, and most of a glass of wine, which apparently turned into a bottle according to some people's accounts, but I don't think that I had enough that I've forgotten how much I drank. It's very much seared into my memory. I haven't quite decided whether it was worth it. I don't feel like it was, really. I spent a good deal of money on those drinks. I was probably tipsy, certainly by the end of the evening, but really I was nowhere near drunk, I felt. I was a little bit more me than usual, and I'm sure people found that insufferable, but I shudder to think how much I'd have had to have drunk in order to be drunk. So it's not something I'll be repeating again, although at least I found some alcohols that I actually like the taste of, so a silver lining to every cloud, I suppose. And that's about it for this week. Hopefully next week will consist of less alcohol and more happiness. That'd be, that's a general good motto to live by, I think. Less alcohol, more happiness, although I've got a few friends who'd say more of both is a good thing, so. But in the meantime, I've been Lucas, you've been great, you've been watching the Sunday Update. Thank you very much, and take care.